move ahead. Nama Om Vishnupadaya, Krishna Pristaya Bhutale, Srimati Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Iti Namani. Everyone can join in. Namaste, Saraswati Deve, Gauravani Pracharini, Nirvishesha Sunivani, Paschatya Desatharani. Panchakalpatrubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namaha. Namo Mahabharanaya, Krishna Prema, Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya, Namani Gora Tushe Namaha. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dina Bandhu, Jagat Pate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute, Tapta Kanchana Gaurange, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vishabhanu Sute Devi, Pranamami Hariti. Mukam Karoti Vachalam, Pangam Langayate Grim, Tat Kripa Tamaham Bande, Shri Guru Dina Tarani. So, I'm very impressed with the numbers here. We're going to have to, everybody's, sit like on an Indian train, not like a Japanese train. The Japanese, they always leave just enough space that no one can get in. And India, you put 6 or 8 people on the seat meant for 4. So, no space between, because more and more are coming, they're pouring in the door and it's early. So anyway, Krishna Jonmostomi, he didn't take birth, he appeared to take birth. It's Krishna Jayanti, but we say Janma because he made a show of Janma, but not like any other Janma we've ever heard of. Janma karma chamedyavyam evam yogeti tatpataha tattva deham punarjanma naiti mamar iti Arjuna. And if one simply understands the transcendental nature of my appearance and my activities, it shouldn't be hard to understand because there's no comparison to any of Krishna's activities. But his appearance on coming in this original form of Gopal, Gopinath, Radhika Raman, that charming cowherd boy, is special mercy, compassion on all of us. It's described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishna was thinking, well, I haven't shown my pastimes for a long time. So he started making arrangements, and of course, there was the arrangement that Mother Bhumi was overburdened with demons, and they asked him. But Krishna he wanted to show us his original Lila, the topmost spiritual world of Goloka Vrindavan. So he arranged to send, his parents, his associates, every older people ahead of him, family, the Yadavas, and then all his friends came with him from Goloka. But they stay in Goloka also, if they come at the same time. And then he exhibited. So I get anyway, questions from devotees a lot. How can I overcome? I'm envious, I get angry too easy, or, I'm lazy. The best way, and the simplest way, is to hear and discuss Krishna's Vrindavan Lila. The Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave us this, realization of all these demons that Krishna killed. And they all had all bad qualities, but they featured each one, especially exhibited certain bad qualities. But by hearing about Krishna killing those demons, And we get purified of those qualities. It's a mystical, like medicine. Nobody can really explain, how medicine works, even how food is digested. It's a mystical process. Krishna is the fire of digestion. So, but just by hearing, Krishna, then it's so relishable. So if we go to Vrindavan, we see, all over. It's a very wonderful place to go. Is Krishna Jonmostomi, the temple in Mathura. They have so much artwork of all of Krishna's Lila, the Vrindavan Lila, all the Leelas, plus all the avatars Leelas, Ram Lila, everything. Beautiful, beautiful artwork all over in this huge place. So we become absorbed, and we can hear about it. Prabhupada had so much compassion, and he was determined. He wanted to present the whole Srimad Bhagavatam. He didn't really know how long he could live, and I think he was working on the third canto, but he just dropped it, and it must have been Krishna, gave him some special guidance, because he always said, I didn't write these books, Krishna, but the Krishna book, where he gave us the 10th canto. He gave us all of Krishna's pastimes. Normally, we're supposed to have realized in the first 9 cantos to hear the 10th canto. But he wanted that massively distributed, and we did. We went wild. We were going to rock and roll concerts and going in the restroom and selling Krishna, the little Krishna book. We were going door to door, and just showing the pictures. Prabhupada arranged 64 pictures in volume 1 for every chapter. So we could really know Krishna, the personality of Godhead, the supreme personality of Godhead. It's a very unique, statement that people, you can't really, it's very clear, it repeats everything. He's a person, he's supreme, he's the head of the God, the head of all the gods. And we have those pastimes. And Prabhupada, unlike the Bhagavatam, he didn't put a sloka and a purport. He merged in the purports. So he said, this is very clever, that, it reads just like stories, but it's full of commentary to bring us up to the realization. So we know who Krishna is. Krishna is the original person. He's the source of everything. So there's no limit to Krishna's pastimes. They're expanding all the time. Seshanaga has been reciting with thousands of heads for millions of years and never repeated the same one twice with any head. So, but we have a little, few hints. But the more we read these books, the more we read these Leelas, the more they come to life, the more nectarine they are, the more we get realization. Prabhupada was not just an ordinary scholar who knew the books. He was witnessing Krishna's pastimes, and he was, giving it to us out of causeless mercy. It's causeless mercy that Krishna comes. The fools think Krishna came to this world to enjoy, get some gopis with him. But actually all the gopis came with him. And he has no business in the material world except to purify it. And causeless mercy that he would come just before Kali Yuga and leave, his pastimes for us. So we're always, requesting everybody, read these books. You can't get enough. The mind will say, I read that already. We had I know a lot of the children in my generation, the age of my children. I know the story. They didn't have much, their mother showed them the pictures, told them the story ever since they were children. But they didn't get trained up to read the books. And even my daughter, she's like 50 something now, and she's reading to her children. And she said, it's so wonderful to read the purports. We never read the purports before in their Gurukul. They were just trying to teach them, don't do this, do that. Read the book and you know everything. You get trained up. You associate with Krishna. You associate with, all these great souls and all the colored boys and all the gopis and Prabhupada, all the demigods, whoever's there. Prabhupada says Narada Muni has very kindly appeared on these pages. It's not just reading, associating. Even karmis say that. Reading a book is associating with the author. But in Prabhupada books, these are not fictional characters. We're associating with all these people. So like Krishna Putana, she represents deceit. She was an idiot, Rakshashi, but she looked like the most beautiful woman that anyone ever seen. And the Vrindavan women were the most beautiful women in the universe, but Putana was especially beautiful. And she cheated everyone, trying to kill Krishna, but of course she couldn't cheat Krishna. All the demons, they all represent these different. One is like a puffed up scholar carrying, like a donkey carrying the Vedas on his back, and he thinks he knows something. So they all are, as Krishna's killing these demons, and we're hearing about it. Krishna never used a weapon. Even as a baby, he didn't have to meditate and work out to become powerful. He never had to learn fighting, learn archery or anything. He's the origin of all these things. So it's divya, it's transcendental. It's not anything of this material world, but by meditating on it, so much benefit is there. We'll get freed from, attraction to material personalities, all these different demoniac people that like to promote their life and stuff. By hearing about Krishna, you can go down the list, Even the Goswamis, the greatest scholars in the world, they would write books just in poetry, just listing off Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. Killing Putana, killing Trinavarta, killing Shakatasura, and Bakasura, and Vyomasura, and I hardly remember all of them. Keshi, Agasura, all of them were the most powerful demons in the universe. The demigods were afraid of them. Krishna would have just finish them off very quickly. And of course they're liberated by that. But that became Pratanaya Sadhanam Dinashaya Chaduskikam Dharma Samstapanartana Sambhavami Yoge Yoge, to annihilate the miscreants and to give pleasure to the devotees. So that goes together, of course. Because like Kamsa, if you do his atrocities, the Brahmins couldn't light their fires, everybody was in anxiety all the time. The Brahmanas were not allowed to really function. But as soon as Kamsa was killed, as soon as Krishna took birth, actually, fires just lit up. But then when Kamsa was killed, like everything just completely changed. So We want Krishna to appear everywhere. We want everyone in Singapore to know about Krishna, to get books. You know, it's something to meditate on. I came here one time and the Christians had a 1 month program or something, conquering Singapore for Jesus. They're all going door to door, they're hanging things on the doorknob, they're fasting, you know, praying. Let's get everybody. We want that spirit, you know. We want that spirit. But we're serious practitioners. Bhakti, chant the holy name of Krishna. We want to know who is Krishna. And that's why Prabhupada made all these books for us. So I always requesting everybody, read this Krishna book, read Bhagavad Gita. It said, you don't need other books, but we want more, we want to know more about Krishna. Lord Chaitanya and his friends, his associates, on Jonmostomi, they would dress up cowherd boys and play cowherd boy games. Grown men, you know. And they would joke, you know, Nityananda's cowherd boy, and swing that cowherd stick, you know, spin it around or something. And so we want to enter into these pastimes. They're there when Prabhupada, he's giving us a conduit, Golokara Premadana, Harinama Sankirtan. This is all coming down from Goloka. And when we connect with the Harinam Sankirtan and chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, we're begging Krishna for service. Service is not a light thing. You know, a good servant is very valuable to any big man, right? It takes very high qualification to be a good servant. But people look down, they think it's a lowly thing, but actually it's very important. The world couldn't live, but we want to be good servants of Krishna, and that begins with serving the spiritual master, and then serving all the devotees. How to please the spiritual master is serve the devotees. By giving Krishna, by Krishna Katha, by reading the book and discussing it, and talking about what we've been reading. You know, we're always talking about something, we're always remembering something. We want to remember Krishna. So the day-to-day is to pray, Krishna, you know, how can I remember you? We can remember Krishna by hearing and chanting Krishna. Automatically we'll start remembering. And other people will ask us about Krishna. The devotees are always happy that someone asks them about Krishna. So, you know, like, well, all these demons like Trinavarta, instead of Krishna, he wanted to get a good view of Braj. Just like you have that big Ferris wheel, or you go on a tall building, and then you can see the whole city. Ooh, right? So Krishna wanted to see, so he arranged this. Trinavarta became like a tornado. Tornado is a very ferocious thing. We have a lot of them in America. When they go through a place, there's nothing left on the path of the tornado. Not one tree, everything is ripped up out of the ground. Not one house, everything is thrown, cars are thrown far away. But he carried Krishna very high, thinking he would drop Krishna and then that would kill Krishna. And the Vrishvasis, when the tornado comes, it becomes unbelievably dark and noisy from a long far away. It's very frightening. And it's like an earthquake. The ground is shaking. So it was like that. So nobody could see anything. Everything was fearful. And then when the dust cleared, nobody could find Krishna. So there was a panic of everybody. But Krishna just became so heavy. And then he became so heavy that his train of artery was going to crash to the ground. And Krishna grabbed him, like this, a few months old baby, 1 year old. And he couldn't get rid of him. Couldn't push Krishna. He tried to pull him away. And then he just came crashing down to the ground and killed the train of artery. Krishna sitting on top just laughing. But the Brijvasis, who are, their rasa is not on reverence. But Krishna, they think this is my baby, our beautiful baby. Everyone loved Krishna. And they thought Vishnu would save Krishna. Because they worship Vishnu to protect Krishna. So they took Krishna and they bathed him in cow dung and cow urine and did all kinds of pujas, and thanking Vishnu for saving Krishna. They didn't know that Krishna is the origin of Vishnu. The gopis had no interest. They knew Vishnu. When Krishna took the form to hide from the gopis, they paid obeisances to Narayan, but then they said, have you seen Krishna? Which way did he go? They didn't have any interest in say, well, Narayan, give me Dhanam, give me. They just said the word Krishna. And he told them he went that way, but he was right there. So when Radharani came, her desire to see Krishna was so intense that he couldn't keep that form anymore. So we have a temple at Forum Vishnu in Alana, near Puri. And Lord Chaitanya would go there and pay obeisances to Narayan, and his ecstasy melted his form. We can see the melted stone of the prints of Lord Chaitanya's body and hand. So you might wonder why he's, worshiping Narayan. But that deity is representing that particular Lila, where that's Krishna hiding from the gopis. So Lord Chaitanya, of course, especially liked that. So we're here. It's really amazing to see so many devotees here. And it's increasing every moment. So we thank everybody for helping, all the devotees who are organizing. Sudarshan Prabhu for bringing his beautiful Radha Madhana, Sambandha Acharya. We pray to Madan Mohan to get a connection with Krishna. We all want a connection with Krishna. We can connect by connecting with each other, with devotees. Now we don't have to keep a social distancing. We can hug, we can sit close to each other, we can talk face to face, They tried to take that away, but the human instinct is so strong. But we can talk to Krishna the same way. Through the devotees, through the spiritual life. So remember these, everybody knows, Putana, everybody knows. But there's so much more to it always, with commentaries and how wonderful these Leelas are. Shakata Sura, Krishna breaking that cart, he didn't get hurt. He just kicked it with his foot. So, and then with his cowherd boys. But the main thing, Krishna came not to kill the demons, that's a secondary work. The main thing is we want to, read about his Leela, his intimate friends, and his joyful, Yamuna Tirabhanacharya, playing on the banks of the Yamuna with his friends, and chasing the birds and imitating frogs and throwing balls and stealing each other's lunch, and all those things. And how Krishna would wrestle and let his friends beat him. And one day when Mother Yasoda was calling him to go home for lunch, They said, if you go home early, we're not going to play with you tomorrow. And then Krishna, okay, he wouldn't go. But then they said, your father can't eat until you get home. He went home. So all these intimate relationships, this is all given to us by Srila Prabhupada in the Krishna book. So please read it. It's available in so many languages. No reason not to have it and carry it with you and read it. So thank you very much. We're going to have mostly kirtan, I think, the rest of the night. Abhishek?
Yes, we
Kirtan.
have a drama now.
Drama. And drama is very important. Prabhupada said it's better than the books. It captures the mind so much. Yeah. Thank you very much. Krishna book ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Singapore Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Gaur Premanandi.
His Holiness Kavichandra Swami Maharaj ki jai.
A lot of Bengali.
Maharaj, we every quarterly we release an edition. It's a newsletter and it's known as Patrika.